Hey, I got a message. It makes me happy. I like communicating with people. I don't know how to initiate it sufficiently, but that's okay. Why do people try and chat with me over Snapchat? It deletes everything within 24 hours. How am I ever gonna fucking see it, honestly? So in the vein of talking about things that get me excited about stuff in life and things, because apparently you guys like hearing things I'm interested in, I'm not used to that. A long time ago, years and years ago, when I had money, to start that off with, I was browsing Kickstarter and I was like, you know what? I like these games. These seem like a really nice concept. I'm just gonna kickstart that one and kickstart that one. I just really want to keep up on the news with these ones and maybe get in on Every Princess or something. Whoa, this one's really cool. What the fuck? I kickstarted things like We Happy Few, which I haven't featured on the channel because I don't like starting games that don't have plot and survivals are weird. So I've been waiting until it has like all of its plot finished before I actually get into the game, but eventually we're gonna get into We Happy Few at some point where the plot exists. But that one last year, which is a 5 versus 1 sort of horror survival game, where it's killer versus survivors, and it's a really good concept and stuff and things, but it's not as far as long as I would have liked. Anyways, so those two, Solar Roadways. I could get into Solar Roadways. Let me tell you, I did a full presentation on Solar Roadways when I was studying abroad in Japan. Like, I was having fun. The one game that really made me go, oh my gosh, when I was doing all that stuff and looking through things, was this thing called Chronicles of Elyria. And so it's been in development for a while, but unlike the last year game thing, the Chronicles of Elyria team are very good at keeping up with their fan base and very good at actively engaging people in the development process and like talking to everyone and everything. So I'm just really excited about it, and they're doing things that I'm just like, oh! So to start off with, actually, what is Chronicles of Elyria if you haven't heard about it? Because like honestly, if you talk to me as like a person in my private life, I talk about it on occasion, like a lot, because I'm like that as a person. But basically the concept for Chronicles of Elyria is it's a massive massive multiplayer online RPG. That thing. Except it's better than that. Because the developers were looking like at MMORPGs and were like, well, this is a dying genre, and they're handling this terribly. There's a lot of design flaws with this concept. You've got like quest hubs and everyone's doing the same exact thing, and it gets boring and people stop caring about the lore and everything, and who cares about the world building, and there's all these microtransactions that are just stupid and grindy, and just what the fuck is up with that? And so the devs were instead like, what if we actually made a world that felt like the real world but was a game, and the characters in it aged as time went on, and they weren't all doing the exact same thing. What if we gave them control over the very fabric of the government in this world? What if we had like all these different races of characters that aren't like the standard fantasy races like the elves and the dwarves? We'll keep the dwarves. We're gonna keep the dwarves. They're the frothy now. But elves, maybe later in the future they can discover those later, maybe, along with ice giants. No, we're gonna start off with Dross, who look like ghouls, Mirans, who are like the humans, Broodveer, who are like humans but with fangs, Kapik, tiny humans in the trees, Hrothi, dwarves, that's definitely a dwarf, and Genoa, like stripe people with like stripes, like they're wildcats, super cool, and Teresk, people with fangs, and they look like orcs maybe, except they are super diplomatic for some reason. I love the Teresk, they're so fun. And there's crafting, but it's not like crafting where you like get a bunch of things and go dink 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 and there's an item and you have to go through all this stuff and like gather. No, this crafting is like if you were actually doing the thing in real life, but it was fun. And we're gonna freaking research the hell out of it, like the actual medieval methodology of how to make shit. We're gonna actually talk to the people who know how to do this in real life and make little mini games out of it. And you know what? You can research things and change the methodology and invent new shit that goes into the world. And you know what? If your character dies, they fucking die. You don't lose your progress. No. Sometimes your characters can die, but their soul is eternal and it gets reincarnated. And when the soul gets reincarnated and born, it has a specific destiny based on astrology. Because we can do that. And we have unique flora and fauna, cute little otter bears and like ocelot foxes, something like that. And porcupines with flowers on their needles, and man-eating rabbits, and emperor penguins that are terrifying. And there's a whole lot of stuff that I love about the world that they're creating, and the devs, and their attention to detail, and how they know exactly what I want in a game. Exactly what I want. And like, no quest hubs. Quests are generated based on the destiny written for you in the stars and the fabric of your soul, and also by other players. Like, players can be like, hey, I need this thing in order to make this other thing, but I don't want to get it myself. Can someone go get that for me? How much you want to pay? Oh, it's so cool. It's very cool. And so like they're getting ready to go into alpha really soon, and like there are some people who've got like tiers that allow them to be like, hey, I want to be involved in the alpha. Can I be involved in the alpha? Sure, you can be involved in the alpha, just get in there. But the tier I got, yeah, I just barely got a high enough tier to be involved in the beta because, holy shit, it's really freaking cool. And when you're involved in like the alpha and the beta, you're actually shaping some of the events that will matter in your world. It's kind of cool. And like all the servers, like each of the different servers in like Oceanus, EU, East and West North America, they all have their different maps and continents and kingdoms, and so like you have a base starting point and then it totally diverges and it's just amazing. But basically the devs knew that they've kind of like lost the engagement of some people who bought like their packs and are just waiting for it to get to the alpha or the beta stage, and they're like, we want to re-engage some of the players who have decided they are bored waiting for this thing. And we're gonna have a community event in our forums, yes. And if you participate in this event, you are essentially shaping some of the lore that happens in the game 600 years in the past prior to launch. And so basically what we've got going on right now is a browser game, sort of, where the searing plague has descended and is eating Elyria alive. And the story behind that basically is this one woman was getting her son married, and it was gonna be a party. She was very excited about this, and it's gonna be the best goddamn hoedown that ever happened this side of Elyria, and everyone's gonna be invited, and it's gonna be fantastic. You know what? We're gonna have ice. Luxury right there. Fucking ice from the north. We're gonna bring it down, and everyone's gonna have ice in their drinks. It's gonna be fantastic. Only thing she didn't realize is that the ice she apparently illegally bought was contaminated. And so when everyone woke up the next morning with like headaches and parched throats and everything, I was like, oh, it's a hangover. You'll get over that very quickly. Oh no. Oh no. It's a plague. If you don't already have like a pledge package, you're plagued. And if you do, you're pure. And there's like a plague bar and a cure bar, and certain things happen when you reach certain points on the plague versus cure bar, but we're not sure what because we haven't reached one of those yet, and we think one of them is the 20% thing, and we haven't quite hit that yet. We're probably gonna hit that tomorrow. Don't worry about that on the plague bar. But if you're a plagued person and you manage to accumulate 180 tokens, purity tokens, I think, or purity seals, whatever, they will essentially give you a like free like copy of the game. Like you get the first pledge package for free, and then you are cured, and you can join in the help the efforts of getting the plague cured, and that's pretty freaking awesome, honestly. Great time to jump in right now, if you know what I mean. Just to get that to happen. Other things that can happen is if we succeed or something, a bunch of the people who like participated in this event, their characters' bloodlines will have a natural like sort of immunity or resistance to the plague and other illnesses and such. And if we utterly, completely fail, we get a plague biome. Like, they've got biomes planned out. You've got like forest biomes and desert biomes and jungle biomes and grasslands and wetlands and mountains and all sorts of things, but a fucking plague biome. That's frightening. I don't want to see that. Like, I mean, cool concept. Really cool, nice concept. No, not in my Chronicles. Scared. But it's a really well thought out event because there's like tiers, like tier 1 and tier 2 roles that you can take, and like each of the roles has different abilities that you can use, and generating plague versus purity. Plague generates automatically, purity you have to manually go in like every 4 hours and generate it, and things, and just oh my goodness. Because like if you've got a account and you don't have a pledge package, even if you're inactive, it drops all of the plague you automatically generate in at like 9 a.m. Pacific time every day, and it's a concern. But things would be fine if everyone who had pledge packages were participating, but they're not, and so just, what can you do? It's only like the first week. Word has to get out and spread, you know? Spread like the plague. The cure bar is inching ever so slowly to being there and bigger and in existence. And we've been slowly, ever so slowly, knocking back the growth rate of the plague. Because it like jumped by like 5%, and then by 4%, and then by 3%, and this last time it jumped by 2%. So if you just get that down, make that stop, that would be great. This event is supposed to last for 6 weeks. I don't think it is gonna last for 6 weeks. Maybe it will, who knows? But another really nice thing about this event is that every week that this is going on, the team writes a new bit of story lore to go on with it. So it starts off like really vague and everything, and it develops as we deal with it. Which is so cool. It's so cool. I love these guys. And they're also partnering with Doctors Without Borders during this event and like doing some charity and promotional stuff with them. And I'm just like, devs are fantastic. Anyways, that's my spiel. I just got very excited and I thought I would share that with you because apparently people get excited when I'm excited and I don't understand why, but I love you anyways. And so, thank you guys for watching, and maybe you can check out Chronicles of Elyria in the doobly-doo below, because it's a very cool concept and I want to see it brought to fruition very badly. And you could essentially save like $45 and get a free copy of the game if you participate in this event right now, which is fantastic, and I highly urge you to do so. So, anyways, I'll be seeing you in the next video, so bye bye!